the reason they're successful in high school is because they're confident and they're playing at top speed, and you want that to translate as early as possible. And in order to do that, they gotta understand what they're doing, understand the concepts. The terminology is different. It's like they come in and they're speaking a different language that they don't know. So the quicker they can pick that up and just gain confidence that I can just play every snap and not think, that's the number one thing with young guys.
You have a lot of young DBs on this team now. I know you expressed a lot of confidence in them in December, but do they have a lot to learn at this stage, this group in particular?
Yeah, no question. We have a lot of young guys in general on defense, but especially on the back end, and it's going to be a big-time learning curve this spring. Going to throw a lot of stuff at them, just teaching why we do certain things. Some of the adjustments we're going to have to make come the season. We play a lot of offenses that are different than our offense, so it's getting those guys to understand that there's certain concepts that we may be practicing in spring ball. It's not really for our offense, just so to expose them to different things, and gonna throw a lot at them and see who can handle what and where they're at. But I love their approach. Pretty much that whole group of DBs is just hungry to get better. They ask questions, they want to learn, and anytime you have that mentality, you got a chance.
Do you expect teams would test that group a lot next season, just knowing that there's a lot of guys that
they should? They should. But it's the same up front, right? You look at our D-line, it's going to look a lot different than it did a year ago. So we have youth all over the place, but I expect them all to get tested. And DBs, we got to have that mentality that we have a lot to prove this next season.
Are your safety
That's
spots?
fun.
I'm sorry. Are your safety spots interchangeable? Or are you looking at Nelson at one spot or the other?
No, I teach them to be interchangeable, and then once it gets more into game plan mode and season, I want them to play to their strengths and to play off of each other well. So, going to mix and match a lot of different guys. Outside of Dakota, nobody's played many snaps at safety, so going to try a lot of different combinations, and as much to find out who the starters is, see who can communicate. If you have to rely on the same person to make your calls for you, I got to get you out of that situation so you grow and develop.
So you could see Nelson and Dixon playing together?
I could, absolutely. There's a bunch, I think early you see, I love what Scott did last year. Obviously Pat's traveled and got reps. Eric Burrell's traveled and got reps on teams last year. So I have a number of guys who've been on the field now. They just haven't necessarily done it in the defensive capacity.
I know you didn't ever work with Bobby, but you guys have worked with a lot of the same people. What makes him such a good coach and a good fit here, would you say?
I think number one, it's his mindset, his personality. He's a great coach. He's a teacher. He's a true teacher. We're fortunate to have never worked with him, but kind of knew of him for a long time and played for his dad for 3 years. So was kind of familiar with who he was a little bit, and got to talk to him really starting last year, a year ago when the position came, the inside backers came open, and had a few conversations and was really excited about him, and then had an opportunity this year to bring him in. And he's a guy that not only is he going to teach you the right thing, he's going to say it in a way that you're going to remember it. He's got that personality, so I think it's going to be great for our guys, and he's going to coach them harder.
The other new coach in the group is John Budmeyer. I know you guys are on opposite sides of the ball, but another former Badger who's back, and he's been around the program for a while. What do you think he means to this quarterback group now that they've added the 10th assistant coach?
I think it's huge, just having another voice. Coach Krista is a busy man, and to have a full-time quarterbacks coach that can handle all those meetings. And obviously quarterback's a little bit different position, right? It's a lot of one-on-one, and you're teaching the scheme, but every guy is a little different. They need that attention. So having John, I think, is going to be huge for our quarterbacks.
What do you think that Arrington can give you guys at outside? It's been about a year since he got moved to linebacker, but what do you think he brings to that group?
I think he has the potential to be a physical guy. He's strong, especially lower body-wise. He's strong. He's got some explosion, and just might be able to help him play with that power. It's hard to make the transition for what we ask our inside linebackers to do. We put a lot on them, so to make that transition sometimes difficult. And he did some good things. Obviously, got on the field and made some plays for us. We just feel like the best fit for him in this program might be at outside backer at this point, and going to go through the spring and see how that works.
When it comes to some of the true freshmen and early enrollees with Dante and then Bryson, just what intangibles do you think that could help them, work their way up and obviously, take momentum into fall camp and summer conditioning, to potentially contribute, next year?
Well, I think first of all, the way they've approached day one when they've got here, it's been impressive. They've come in and work, kind of silent, take it all in, learn what I need to do, and then just go attack what we ask them to attack. And all three on defense have been that way. Bryson, Dante, and Reggie, just great approach. I think they've fit in very well and very quickly to the team. And now you're just asking them to learn. How fast can you get comfortable? And once they can get comfortable, they can play confident, and then you really see who they are, and the athleticism come out. So, just trying to keep it somewhat simple and just really teach those guys. Obviously, they're on an accelerated learning curve as opposed to everyone else who had already been here and kind of knows the structure of the day-to-day and just what we do.
When it comes to Zack Baun too, what the steps? I know he obviously with that foot injury last year. What steps do you want him to take this spring? In coming back at outside linebacker.
I think number one is just get his confidence back. We were excited about Zack last fall. We thought he was going to have a big role and be able to help this defense, and obviously an injury happens, and it's just getting that confidence. One, in the foot, getting a confidence that he's healthy and he can do what he needs to do, and then two, just being comfortable again. You're off the field for a while and you kind of feel like you're out of it. Just kind of get back in that mix and gain confidence. So he understands what we do. He was on the field 2 years ago, so we trusted him 2 years ago, and I expect him to make a big jump this spring just because he gets his legs back under him and just used to being around the guys again.
I know it's on the other side of the ball from where you're at, but going against the wide receiver group that you do, and obviously Quintez and Danny are going right now, but do you remember the time that you had more talent at that spot? I know there was a pretty good group when you were here at school, but it seems like everything's been replenished there, and it's good from up and down.
Yeah, I think when I was here, that kind of top tier guys was very talented, and then I think maybe depth-wise wasn't quite what we have now. Now we have a very talented group at the top, but you start going down that group and you're still really excited about a lot of guys, or there's just youth where they have some skills that can stress out a defense. So I'm excited, and I'm in their receivers' ears all the time, man. Just get our guys better, and I love just the way they compete. And to me, it really was a huge change. You just saw the way Danny last year competed, and the way Quintez competed, and AJ, all those guys, every snap, they put it all out there, and they do that in practice, and that gets our guys better.
What went into the thinking behind the Arrington and Garrett position switches, and kind of why do you think those two will be better in their new spots?
I think you're always evaluating the depth, right? And you're always evaluating where you think guys have the best opportunity to help out this team. You look at Garrett, we know what he can do at the nose position. We did it last spring, where we played around with moving him to the outside, possibly his best position, just with who he is. But it's going to take time to get there, and also looking at just the ways to maybe get the best 11 on the field. Arrington, it's the same thing, just looking at his skill set and what he's brought to this team and kind of what he's become. He comes in as a safety, they kind of recruited him safety backer, kind of tweener, and he grew, so he grew out of the safety position, and now it's really focusing on trying to find the right fit. He has some ability, he has some skills that we really like, and it's trying to put him in a position where those can show up every snap that he's on the field.
You think Garrett was probably always more of an end, but you guys just kind of needed him on the inside last year? Is that kind of
a little bit of both. We think he has that position flexibility. He's played the nose for 2 years and played it well. We're really pleased with what he's done. We also think he has the ability to kick out, and we want him to kind of open up his repertoire on what he is and what he's capable to bring to this team, and we think that's a great way for him to be able to make this team better.
What's your comfort level right now in a lot of the young defensive backs that are getting a lot of reps? Do you feel comfortable with them right now? Do you think they still have a ways to go before the season starts?
There's no question they have a ways to go, but I'm confident in that group because of how they work. They will put in extra time. They ask the right questions. They're willing to learn. They're willing to be coached. So, if I was going to put my money on them, I would because of their work ethic and their character. But with that being said, we got a long ways to go. But we are a long ways away from week 1. So I'm gonna go with that group. I love some of the guys. I love the energy that they bring to practice and things like that. And I'm excited to work with them every day. It's not one of those things where you go into the room and you gotta fight them to get the energy there and things like that. They're locked in every day and they're hungry and want to get better.